Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Who might Giants sign if they miss out on Aaron Rodgers? Their options are bleak. File. New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers, 8, stands with teammates before an NFL football game against the Miami Dolphins, January 5, 2025, in East Rutherford, New Jersey. AP photo/Seth Wenig, file, AP. It's day 3 of free agency and Aaron Rodgers remains unsigned. All signs point to the 4-time MVP signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but the Giants and Vikings are still serious candidates too, according to almost every insider. Let's face it, though, unless general manager Joe Schoen becomes a hypnotic negotiator overnight, Rodgers probably isn't picking the Giants. The Steelers and Vikings are just too tempting for a 41-year-old who tossed a 3,897 yards and 28 passing touchdowns last season to pass up. So, what should the Giants do if they miss out on him? They already whiffed on their veteran QB Plan A in Matthew Stafford. Who are Plan C, D, E, and F? The options are bleak. Before we explore some names though, it's worth emphasizing that the Giants' number 1 offseason priority was always finding the best rookie in the draft. It would be nice to pair the rookie with a rock-solid vet, but it was never a prerequisite. Okay, now back to the matter at hand. According to Pro Football Focus, the best available free agent QBs are Russell Wilson, the 45th ranked free agent, Jameis Winston, 84th, Marcus Mariota, 164th, and Mason Rudolph, 169th. None of these exactly scream franchise savior. Wilson is obviously their top choice. The Super Bowl 48 champion threw for 2,482 yards and 16 touchdowns in 11 starts for the Steelers last season. Wilson, who met with the Giants last offseason, would bring a wealth of experience to Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward. But signing him isn't a slam dunk. Not even close. If Rodgers signs with Pittsburgh, there would still 2 additional teams, the Titans and Vikings, that may target him too. If Wilson is going to sit at some point anyway, Minnesota is a much better situation than the Giants. So, what happens if they swing and miss on Wilson? Their next best bet would be Winston, who recently told NJ Advance Media he was absolutely interested in signing with the Giants. The 31-year-old, who once tossed 33 touchdowns and 30 interceptions in a single season, finished 2024 with 2,121 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. He would probably be terrible. But it would sure be entertaining. Giants fans don't even want to know what their options would be if they have to pivot to plans E, F, G, etc. We're talking duds like Rudolph, Mariota, Joe Flacco, and Mac Jones. That is the doomsday scenario. Radio host calls Myles Garrett a fraud. For signing extension with Browns. Cleveland Browns star DE Myles Garrett opened the offseason issuing a public request for trade. The Browns never gave even the slightest hint of being willing to oblige that request, instead throwing money at him. As it turned out, they didn't have to, and he even signed a no-trade clause. That makes him a fraud, Rob Parker of CBS Sports Radio argues. Because the thing is, Garrett didn't just want a trade, or so he said. In his own statement, he claimed that his driving factor was his desire to win. He said, in so many words, he can't see the Browns winning anytime soon. But now he will spend the next 6 years there, taking the money and running away from championship aspirations. That's when somebody's fraudulent. You've got to call him a fraud, Parker said of Garrett. It's one thing to say you just want out, you want to be traded. But to say it's about winning, you always dreamt about winning, and that's what it was about and never thought about going from Cleveland to Canton, and then they come along with money for you, and then all of a sudden, all of those words really don't matter. Parker suggested that all the talk from Myles Garrett wanting a trade away from the Browns may have been so much huffing and puffing trying to angle for a new contract. The Browns were always likely to give him a new deal, though perhaps he coaxed them into overpaying. Garrett is now by far the NFL's highest-paid non-quarterback, signing a 4-year, $160 million extension. And that is terrible business on the Browns' part to give in to Garrett, Parker argues, and pay him that. But it's also par for the course, not dissimilar to Browns owner Jimmy Haslam being prompted to guarantee QB Deshaun Watson a full 5-year, $230 million contract to agree to come here via trade after initially turning down what was otherwise already the best offer. The Cleveland Browns continue to make bad decisions. It is a terrible decision to extend Myles Garrett at this kind of money, Parker said. He's a great player, that isn't even the issue. The issue is you're in last place. You can finish in last place with him or without him. During the 2023 season, the Browns looked like they turned a corner, going 11-6 and reaching the playoffs, Garrett winning the Defensive Player of the Year. While Garrett had a similarly accomplished season in 2024, however, the Browns won all of 3 games. Attempting to argue on the grounds of their losing their starting quarterback doesn't do much good, considering they went 1-6 with Watson. Rocket-armed quarterback emerges as trade target for Pittsburgh Steelers by Nick Farabaugh at PennLive.com. A new trade candidate could be out there for the Pittsburgh Steelers if they want to take a chance on a young player. The New England Patriots, who signed Josh Dobbs, are reportedly floating second-year quarterback Joe Milton out there in trade talks. Jordan Schultz of Fox Sports reports the Patriots are in discussions to at least consider trading Milton to a new team. The Patriots have had discussions on trading QB Joe Milton III and would like to trade him to the right situation to continue his development in the NFL. Should a deal get done, New England loves Milton, but Drake May is their franchise and they just signed Josh Dobbs to a 2-year, $8 million contract to be the backup, Schultz said. Milton came out of Tennessee as a strong-armed, but raw quarterback. In his one game of playing time with the Patriots, he impressed, throwing for 241 yards and 1 touchdown while completing 75.9% of his passes. The guess for Milton's market would just be a wild guess, but the quarterback options on the market are either veterans like Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers or unproven young players with upside. So, Milton could pair with one of the veterans. Betting, check out our guide to the best PA sportsbooks, where our team of sports betting experts has reviewed the experience, payout speed, parlay options, and quality of odds for multiple sportsbooks. Are you a fan? What do you think about Joe Milton's situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.